Good morning, folks. How's it going this morning? I'll put this over here. Oh, yeah. Well, I got to wait around this morning for things to come about and things to happen. So, waiting on a phone call. Got to pick up a bunch of seed. Um, but there's some stuff been happening here as of late that really make me wonder on what's what. All right, get down, get down, get down. Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. All right, get down. Down. All right. So one of the things I want to talk about this morning is this. We are being taught and we are being shown that our Constitution does not mean anything. We are being shown right now that our Constitution does not mean anything at all. Oh, before I really get started, if you could like this, and hit that notification tab, share this out if you can. Tell everybody I'm on. Share it with other people. But because I'm home, actually, right now, waiting for a phone call so I can go get some more seed, Milo seed, so we can plant. But anyway, we're being shown right now how the Constitution of the United States is not important. We are being shown right now how our Constitution of the United States is not relevant because if you've been paying attention, you will see how people like Nancy Pelosi want to circumvent our Constitution. It is in the Constitution that our representatives must vote on proceedings of the House and the Senate. But right now, what they're wanting to do, Nancy Pelosi is wanting to circumvent that. Nancy Pelosi is saying, "Oh, we can't come in and vote, so we want to have proxy votes. I want to have people sitting up there that can vote, but we don't want to do it in person because we can't come vote because of the coronavirus." It's real funny. They're saying they can't come vote in person because of the coronavirus. Oh yeah, and that's why Nancy Pelosi also has the House in recess until the end of the month. But if you're on recess for the end of the month, why are you trying to vote on something? But at the same time, you have to have a quorum to do anything. But see, what it is Nancy Pelosi is trying to circumvent the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. She's trying to prove to everybody how the Constitution is not important. She's trying to prove to everybody how you don't have to abide by what the Constitution says. She's getting it done. Since the Democrats are in charge of the House, she is proving that our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our civil rights do not mean diddly do at all. She is going around violating every kind of rights, every kind of laws there is, and she's getting away with it. Why? It's because she can. It's because the people are not saying anything about it. The people are not standing up. We've always been told ever since I was Nehata Grasshopper that our representatives work for us, that we pay them. We're the ones that put them in that position. But think about it. They act like we owe them everything. We owe them our allegiance. We owe them our gratitude that they're there. So do they really work for us or do we work for them? That's how she's trying to make us think that we work for her. So as we go and we watch this, nobody's doing anything. Nobody's trying to fight against our representatives. Nobody's standing up against our representatives at all. Nancy Pelosi is trying to wiggle her way around the Constitution. She's wanting to vote right now on something, right now. But yet she has the House on recess until the end of the month. she has the House on recess to the end of the month. So you got to figure why is she wanting some. Okay, so go ahead, take a vote, but do it in person. No, we can't because we can't come to work because of the coronavirus. Okay. I was just reading something of all places on Yahoo, which is very liberal. And Yahoo was even saying how it is being proven that there's absolutely no reason to be quarantined because the coronavirus does run its course. Amazing, isn't it? Amazing how they're coming out with all this scientific evidence that everything Pelosi and Maxine Waters and the Democrats government has been telling us about this coronavirus has all been lies. I've been telling you guys since the very beginning, this has been a farce. That's all it's been, has been a farce. You know, as I listened more and read more about her wanting this vote, I got to thinking about the Constitution. Because in the Constitution, it does state that the representatives, there has been a majority of them vote. Now, she's still wanting to vote, but she's wanting to have proxy votes. In other words, she don't want the representatives to vote. She wants somebody that works for the representative to come vote. Seems kind of suspicious to me. Seems kind of weird to me. Now, I'm just a simple man, but that ain't right. That ain't right. If you're an elected official, why would you want somebody else that works for you to vote in your position instead of you doing your own voting? You know, I can see a lot of problems with this. I really can. It's like this mail-in voting that Nancy to pass. And that's basically what this is. They're wanting to vote on mail-in voting. And I can see where this would create voter fraud out the wazoo. You know, mail-in voting. Let's take, for example, Los Angeles County, California. Los Angeles County, California. Over 112% of the population of Los Angeles County is registered to vote. Over 112% of the population, not 100% of the population, but 112% of the population is registered to vote. How is that possible? How is that even possible? Oh, yeah, and by the way, that 112% of the population of Los Angeles, California, are supposed to be getting mail-in voter ballots for the presidential election. And that's not the only election. That's also Pelosi's election. That's right. Has everybody forgotten Nancy Pelosi is up for re-election? And they suspended her election when it was supposed to be because of the coronavirus. So now she's wanting mail-in votes from Los Angeles County, California. 112% of the population. Now, how do we know who these 112% of the population is? Okay. It's also been proven. There's people come out and say, I have received 2, 3, 4 different mail-in voter ballots. Wow. Really? Yeah. There's people come in and say, I've already received 2 or 3 of these things. How many of them don't need to vote? And here's the funny thing is, none of them need to be notarized at all. You just fill out your information. Yes, this is John Doe. Yes, this is Jane Doe. That's it. That's all you got to do. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to prove who you are in order to vote with the mail-in votes. That's the whole kicker about it. So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. You know, Pelosi and the entire Democrat community is really pushing this mail-in votes because you can't vote. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're opening up the society again, okay? You're saying people can go to bars again. People can go to beaches again. People can do this again. People can do that again. If people can do that again, then people can go vote. They can. If people can still go to Kohl's, if people can still go to Sears, Roebucks, people can go to the grocery stores, people can go to Walmart, people can go to play stuff they need, then they can vote. There's no reason to do the mail-in voting at all. And there's safety precautions that can be done. And there's safety precautions because, ladies and gentlemen, is it just me or what? But when you go to vote, there's voting booths that are not side by side. They're offset. So nobody knows when you're voting. Nobody can see how you're voting. They're not side by side, whether you got the kind that's got the curtain on there, you got a little three-sided deal that's where you go stand up, put your paper on there, and look. If we can gather in different places, and hair salons, grocery stores, Walmart, United, all your major shopping centers, then we can vote. So there's absolutely no reason to have mail-in votes, mail-in ballots. There's none at all. There is none at all. You know, Nancy Pelosi is trying to circumvent the Constitution. She's trying to prove to everybody how the Constitution is not important. So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if our Constitution really means anything in these days and these times. You know, I've sat here and I've watched ever since this coronavirus BS has started, how much they have violated our civil rights, how much they have violated our constitutional rights, how much they have violated our Bill of Rights. And more every day, they keep perpetrating this crime. And that's what it is. It's a crime. But nobody's saying anything about it. Nobody's doing anything about it. You know, Nancy Pelosi is wanting to go around our Constitution by having proxy votes. You know, I've had a lot of people also ask me, why is nobody being arrested? Why is nobody being charged with a crime? I'm going to tell you why, in case you don't realize this. The representatives of the House and the Senate have passed legislation so they cannot be criminally charged with anything. Right. There is actually laws on the books to where they cannot be charged at all with a crime. That's why nobody is being arrested. You don't believe me? Look it up. Look it up. It's there. They've put it in the United States Code. They've put it in regular legislation. The only place they haven't put it is in the UCC, Universal Commercial Code. That's the only place it's not. But I guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, out of all these shenanigans that's been going on for almost 4 years now, not one representative of the House or the Senate or Congress anywhere will be arrested and charged with a crime. So Nancy Pelosi and all of her cohorts are doing anything and everything they can to circumvent the Constitution of the United States because it doesn't matter to them, because they can't. So it makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. It makes me wonder, and it should make you wonder why all this is being perpetrated upon us, but yet they're telling us that we must abide by everything they say because it's legal. But yet, if it's legal for us, shouldn't it be legal for them? You know, they keep saying there's this law out there that Congress should not pass any legislation that they do not have to adhere to, but we must. Well, if that's true, then we're all screwed. But it's not true. It's not true. They cannot pass legislation where they don't have to abide by the law. See, in this country, we have something called rule of law, and even our representatives must live by it. We have to live by it. Hey, here's my question. How's everybody going to be held accountable? You know, the word's going around saying that if President Trump wins the second term, everybody's going to be charged. Everybody's going to be arrested. There's supposed to be all these indictments out there. Just like this whole farce on the Russia collusion, the Pfizer reports, all that stuff. We know that that was a game perpetrated by the FBI. We know that that was a game perpetrated to cause a coup. Why do you think they went after General Flynn so much? Oh, and guess what? General Flynn is innocent. And we've all known he's been innocent this entire time, but yet nobody is going to be charged with the crime. Nobody. Only the people that the Democrats said lied are going to be charged with the crime. General Flynn, Roger Stone, all these people. Makes you wonder, don't it? Makes you wonder, is our Constitution valid? Is our Constitution a viable piece of paper that sets our boundaries for this great country? You know, this is one of those mornings where I have to wait until 8 o'clock until the store opens up so I can know if I got to go get some more seeds so I can do some planting. So I had time to sit and think because I've been getting home every night at dark or after dark. And the more I think about this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, the more I'm beginning to think there's a war fixing to happen. Big time. People are getting tired, not only of this coronavirus BS, but also of the violation of our civil rights, our constitutional rights. You know, in my gut, and I go by it a lot, we have a war coming. And we're going to see it in our lifetime. I'm going to see it in my lifetime. I don't want to. I'm going to. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know, I really wish something would happen to wake people up. But I don't want a war to happen to be able to wake people up. And I got a feeling that's what's going to happen. We're going to have a war within our own country. I mean, look what's happening right now with the murder of that man by that cop. Okay. That police officer murdered that man while he was in handcuffs. Look at what the people in Minnesota are doing. Okay. They've had enough. But yet at the same time, you get a Somali police officer that kills a white lady, there's nothing. Okay. People are still torn apart. We are still divided. We're not together. We're way divided. If we was together, do you think Nancy Pelosi and the liberals would be getting away with the stuff they're getting away with? No, they wouldn't. So how can we come together to stop all this crap? That's a question that's been flowing around for years. Just like Joe Biden. If you can't decide whether you want to choose me or Trump, then you ain't black. What the hell are you trying to say, Joe Biden? Are you trying to say you have to be black to vote Democrat? Are you trying to say that you are the master of the plantation? Is that what you're trying to say, Joe Biden? I think so. I think so. I'm just a little simple boy out here in the middle of nowhere, northwest Oklahoma. But I can spot when things ain't right. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, things ain't right. Things ain't right big time. So it makes you wonder. Now, I'm going to finish up my coffee. I want to thank you for the conversation this morning. I'm going to go get some more seeds as soon as I get a phone call. I'm going to go plant some more Milo. You know, but here's something to think about. Is our Constitution still viable? According to Nancy Pelosi, our Constitution isn't worth the paper that's written on. So we have to pay attention to what's happening. You know, her re-election's coming up. Shifty Schiff's re-election's coming up. Naylor's election's coming up. Everybody's election's coming up, even our president's. And Nancy Pelosi is fighting 100% to have mail-in votes. Now, the good thing is we know this. The president's going to veto it. We know that. But think common sense dictates if you can go to the grocery stores, if you can go to the beach, if you can go to the hair salons, if you can go to the bars, if you can do all these things where people gather, then we can vote. So we don't need mail-in votes. We don't need voting by proxy. You know, the Congress can come back together because this coronavirus is a farce. I've been telling you guys that since it started. It's a farce. You know, and now the CDC is actually coming out and saying, oh, wait a minute. Our numbers for the death toll for the coronavirus are wrong. It's a lot less than what it originally was said. Our numbers for the death toll are way less because we've been saying everybody's been dying of the coronavirus. Well, no, you're wrong. Everybody has not been dying of the coronavirus. What about your heart attacks? What about your murders? What about your motorcycle wrecks, your vehicle wrecks? What about natural causes? You know, people die. That's a proven fact. But not everybody's dying of the coronavirus. So don't say everybody's dying of the coronavirus. And the CDC finally came out and said our numbers are wrong. Our numbers have been blown way out of proportion. So we're being manipulated, not only by the House of Representatives, but by our full entire government, by scientists that the Democrats said we have to abide by and pay attention to. Is everybody awake? Is everybody seeing what is going on, in all honesty? You know, like I said the other day, to me, this goes all the way back to the act where we lost our sovereignty. We lost our rights. You know, and according to the Democrats, we've lost our rights to say anything. So you guys think about that today. Think about, is the Constitution still viable? Is the Constitution still our paperwork and what this great country was established on? Or is it something that the Democrats are wanting to wad up and throw away? I think that's what it is. Democrats are trying to take our Constitution, they're trying to shred it. But yet the people aren't saying anything. So it makes you wonder. All right, guys, I'm going to finish my coffee. Y'all have a good morning. God bless you. God bless the Republic of America. And I stand by the Constitution. I stand by the Bill of Rights. And I stand by my civil rights. And just remember this. If you sit on the wood too long, you're going to get splinters in your butt. So get off the fence. I don't care which side you crawl on. Put your feet down, pull the splinters out, and go forwards. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.